Falls an area on Saturday afternoon, the 10th day of November. On Saturday, the 10th of November, scheduled to compete at the beautiful Capitol Center, will be a wrestling card second to none. The wrestling action set to get underway at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Scheduled to participate on the event will be the Valiant brothers, Jimmy, Johnny, and Jerry. Joining forces in the special six-man tag team event, their opposition, Chief J. Strongbow, along with Tito Santana and Ivan Putski. In the main event, the World Wrestling Federation title up for grabs, perhaps as never before. Bob Backlund meeting the #1 contender now, over 300 pounds of big, rugged Swede Hanson. At this moment, our guest is the spokesman for the Valiant brothers. No, it's not Lou Albano, but it is the larger of the Valiant brothers, perhaps the more rugged of the three. Gentleman Jerry. And the Valiant brothers, at least in my mind, will be put to the test, perhaps as never before.
Well, Mr. McMahon, you're talking about being put to the test. What test? We're talking about three individuals that are not established as a team. You're talking about the Indian. Yes, a great man in his own right as a man one-on-one. You're talking about Putski, the same thing. You're talking about Santana, the same thing. But as a team, it's a different world, my friend, because I know exactly how much time, what my body can take, and the stress that I can put on my body to tag one of my brothers. Now, these two men, they do not know the timing of themselves as a team. The Valiant brothers have it together, Daddy, and I'm going to tell you people in Washington, you be there at 1 o'clock, and we will show you that the Valiant brothers can defeat these men.
We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Jerry Valiant joining forces with his brothers, competing against Jay Strongbow, Ivan Putski, and Tito Santana. Coming into view now, the reigning World Wrestling Federation champion, Mr. Bob Backlund. And Bob, the wrestling fans of the Washington area excited about your return, and especially excited about the opposition you'll be facing, and what a great matchup it should be with you against Big Swede Hanson.
Yes, it will be. I'd like to thank all the, or say hi to all the young kids that I met on the last card down there, all the autographs that I signed, and it was a pleasure meeting them. But I can't look to the past. I got to look to the future, and the future is Swede Hanson, and I'm going to have my hands full. He's a man. Well, I respect all my opponents. Every time I step into the ring, they're capable of taking this title away from me. But I respect this man more than anybody, because he's got that pile driver, and it's the most dangerous hold in professional wrestling right today. And he's been proving it week after week right here on TV, and I definitely have my hands full, and I got to admit, I'm a little worried. I'm not thinking about losing the match. I love to win. I'm a competitor, and I'm going to do my darndest to win the match, but I'm worried about it.
Well, you should be. Frank Williams can attest to that. Any long list of opponents from Swede Hanson's pile driver can attest to that. There was talk, as you know, at one time of barring the hold in the World Wrestling Federation, but in any event, it's still in good standing, and I suspect that he would attempt to use it on you. And as we brought out last week, there are any number of ways in which he can apply it. He can, from any number of positions, he can go into it.
Well, that hold's got him this far, and I'm sure he's not going to stop using it just because he's hurt a few people. He's got a vicious mind, and he's a vicious man, and Freddie Blassie wants this title worse than anything in the world, and they're gonna use it, but I'll be ready.
As always, Bob Backlund preparing himself to defend the World Wrestling Federation title. Coming into view now, the #1 contender, Big Swede Hanson, along with his manager, Fred Blassie.
McMahon, I want to tell you, those pencil neck geeks out there, and Bob Backlund, too, I heard your earlier statement. You're looking to the future. Well, I'm looking into the future right now, and I don't see anything too good in the future for you, Bob Backlund. Your title will be lifted.
Perhaps
That's
your
right,
crystal ball a little cloudy there.
No, it's not cloudy, McMahon. I can predict the future because I've got the man right here that's going to make it come true. The man that's going to apply the pile driver and get rid of Bob Backlund like we did the rest of these pencil neck geeks. Can't you just picture Bob Backlund being carried out on a stretcher and a world title around my man's waist?
Mr. Hanson?
You know something, Mr. McMahon? You've got some of the greatest talent in the world right around here in this section. And I got to say that Bob Backlund is good, otherwise he wouldn't be the champion. But Bob Backlund has never met anybody like Swede Hanson before. I've waited a long time for something like this. It's going to happen in the Capitol, and I'm not going to blow my chance doing it. Just like the shirt says right here, blast Bob Backlund, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to blast him right out of the Capitol.
So the words, confident words of Big Swede Hanson, accompanied by his manager, Fred Blassie. Swede Hanson preparing to meet the World Wrestling Federation title holder, Bob Backlund, in the main event at the beautiful Capitol Center.